Hey, just wanted to say that this is part 2 to a return video that I'll have linked up above.
Shining Darkness Bulbasaur. I mentioned earlier we graded some more of the starters from Shining Darkness. So we have a cute little Koki set of Bulbasaur artwork. Another Charmander. So I guess we're just going to see a run of cards. Well, this is a pretty beast mode card. Arcanine EX from Mirage Forest, unlimited. I don't really know if it's supposed to mean it's a little bit rarer, but what I do know is that this was a CGC 9 that I was trying to sell for a very long time. I think around like that $200 price range was my ask for the 9 because it was so clean, and I eventually pulled the trigger and decided to crack it out and regrade, and evidently it was super worth it. I'm actually gonna probably have on the bottom of the screen like some of these cards were cracked and resubmitted to PSA from CGC, and I want to do like the on the bottom, like on the left and right, the value difference because of that process, like how much money is gained, or I guess in some cases lost by crossing it up. Another one of those Raikous from Shining Darkness, 10. Really nice. Moltres hollow, non-hollow. Oh, okay, so this is same thing as like the Dawn Dash Moltres. This one's from Fukuda, a really cute Articuno, a little off center on the top, but again, just a rare from the set. Even though it's non-hollow, I thought the artwork was good. A fairly popular Pokemon, so I thought it was worth grading. And yeah, just like the big caveat when you're grading stuff like this is you really need it to hit 10. It is such a crapshoot if you hit the 9. Toxicroak EX. Okay, I don't remember. I'll try to figure it out. I graded a bunch of like full art, like X and Y cards, like the secret rares, and they were all CGC copies beforehand. I think they hovered between 8.5 to 9.5. Like that was the range that they were in. But I mean, 8.5, 9.5, it's so hard to sell. Like it's so hard to sell a CGC 9 copy of Toxicroak EX. Especially when you inspect the card, it looks like it can be a 10, and it pulled the 10. So like this worked out. Gallade in 10. I think this was a 9.5 that was crossed. Yveltal. I think this Yveltal was also a 9.5 that had cracked and crossed. And the thing was like the Yveltal, I think I was trying to sell it for around $70 and in CGC 9.5. And I right now I think a PSA copy is around $200. PSA 10 copy. So it was obviously really worth it to cross it over. Oh, and then Xerneas. So there is a I believe there is supposed to be an X version. So X and Y Japanese. What Japanese does with the first sets of every new generation is they break it up into X and Y. So there's Black Collection, White Collection. It's two separate sets. Scarlet and Violet was Scarlet EX, Violet EX. It's two sets. This was Y. I'm pretty sure Xerneas is also in X as a full art. I'm not completely certain on that. But yeah, I just thought this was a really nice set. Oh, and there's sequential cert too. This was like towards the end of the sub, but I thought it'd be awesome to get the Xerneas and Yveltal sequential pens. Even though they're not technically the same exact versions from X and Y, but I just thought it looked cool. And this is a really nice artwork. We have Soul Silver Ninetales. I don't remember. Ooh, that's a pretty big chip on the top. That's probably why it got brought down to a 9. It is weird too, because like sometimes I look at my 9s and I'm very confident that if I cracked it and rate graded it, it would get a 10 after like a couple more tries. And then you get a 9 like that. And I'm not sure this would stay 9. But I guess this one got an 8. Oh, you can look right there. There's a really fat piece of debris in the case on the card, and then right there on the Pokeball. That sucks because like it just looks ugly to sell. And then at the same the debris stuck on the back of the card is bad. But then something I notice a lot with the X and Y full arts. Let's see if we have an example here. You can kind of see just on this Gallade, right under the EX thing, there's like a little bit there's a little dust stuck on the card. I think maybe it's the texture, like the dust just grips onto the texture. It could probably come off with like, getting air blown, like with compressed air. But like now it's just immortalized in the CGC case with that damage. Or not even damage, but just that imperfection. And this is another cross grade. This is Feraligatr Prime, first edition from Hot Girl Collection. I had this CGC 9.5. I think I was trying to sell it. It's like that Arcanine for around the $200 range with no dice. Ended up resubmitting it, and it came back to 10, which is obviously a really huge upgrade. And this one's pretty interesting to me because this sub was sent in at $15 a card, and this card got the 10, so they upcharged me for this, and it upcharged for $19. So they wanted the $4 difference, which I thought was pretty funny to hold up, you know, a 100 card sub over a $4 difference in accounting. Dawn Dash Gardevoir. So more 10s in this stuff. So, okay, and now we have the full line. I think the bottom two. We have Kagemaru Himeno Squirtle in a 10 from Shining Darkness, the Fukuda Charmander in 10, and then the Koki Saito Bulbasaur in 10. Secret of the Lakes Typhlosion. Kind of sad this got the 9. Looks pretty clean on the back. Wonder what it is. Maybe slightly shifted centering too, but I don't know. That kind of feels bad. Okay, this is a really bad card. Avra Secret of the Lakes. I keep harping that you need to get 10s in these cards for them to be worth anything. And this is definitely one of those that fall into that. It looks really off-center, top-down. So, I mean, realistically, this is probably not worth grading off that centering alone. You have to be super strict. Maybe I was hoping it would sneak by, but yeah, that's a huge loss. And we're going to end this box with a Tornadus Black Collection. It's kind of weird to me because I thought these were super clean when I sent them in. I mean, look at that back. That's on the case. I mean, there is no whitening at all. What's tough, too, with the black and white stuff is it's such like a fine texture that maybe there's scratching. It might be the case on the front. But yeah, this is super clean. And especially because I cross-graded a CGC 8.5 Tornadus to a PSA 10. And I'm pretty sure that PSA 10 copy I crossed looked worse than these PSA 9s. So yeah, this might be a card that is kind of worth grading, like cracking out to resub for $15. They actually just brought back $15 submissions, which kind of pissed me off because I was coming home from the post office yesterday, and I just dropped off I went to go pick up this FedEx package for the PSA cards from the FedEx facility, and I dropped off my next PSA sub. I did like a 60 card $19 sub. And by the time I was coming home from the post office after dropping that off, PSA sent the email saying that they brought back $15 submissions. So I just lost like $200, something like that. Yeah, not great, but whatever. It will average out in the long run, and I'm going to throw together another $15 sub like right after this video. So, Raikou v V-Star Universe. This card, a lot of these V-Star Universe cards are so impossible to sell on eBay. There are like 100 copies, PSA 10 listed for sale. But yeah, just like it is just too competitive at this point to try to sell all this stuff for prices that make sense. Like I think this is around like a $40 card now when it used to cost like $20 raw. So that's not great. More One Piece. You have the Shinx Fuller, and as I mentioned, OP for One Piece and 01 first set, Romance Dawn. This is just the alternate art, and there's like a secret rare version with the manga panel behind it. That's like $1,500. This is a much more cheaper version of that artwork. This is just really cool Zoro artwork, alternate art. I like this style of art a lot more than this. I think we have one more card in that same style. This is just like, I pretty much just bought arts of like characters that I thought were popular. So Shinx, Zoro, Luffy. But yeah, this is, I think, from the Straw Hat Crew. I think it was a theme deck, and this was the holo from the deck. Okay, we have a couple of that in 10. Again, like you should expect to get 10s in your One Piece stuff. The quality controls through the roof. The centering is always on point. The card stock as well is so thick that it doesn't pick up those imperfections. Or that shakes. I probably graded way too many of those Luffys. Something I'm trying to get better at is instead of sending 5 copies of one card at once, I will try to do like 2 or 3 moving forward, sell through that 2 or 3 and send another couple. And then Nami. This is like kind of a similar style to the Shinx in my opinion. I mean, not exactly, but I like the alternate arts that are like more dynamic, like that Zoro. But yeah, I think the sales have been pretty good. And as I mentioned, the TCG is pretty popular and playable. So hopefully it holds true. Emerald Break. I guess I cracked 2 copies of this card in CGC 9. One of these wouldn't have been a 9, but I know one of the ones that I had was a 9.5 that I crossed over. But yeah, getting the PSA 10s in full art is so insanely good. It just makes me so much happier, man, than having to struggle to sell them in like these CGC grades. I have like a bunch of, you can't see it, but like right to the left of me, it's just like where I stored the graded inventory. And at this point, I want to go through and probably crack 50 to 60% of my CGC cards and just regrade them. And then for the rest of them, I just plan to auction them off. I haven't even renewed my CGC membership. I'm probably not going to grade with them anymore. For comics, I can send through a middleman. But yeah, just grading Pokemon, there's literally no reason. It's not even like perfect. CGC perfects go for anything. If you want to chance the perfect card, just send it to Beckett, and go there. But yeah, it is so much more refreshing to get this PSA 10 for a card that was stuck in CGC 9 for so long. We have a really nice card. This is same thing as that Gardevoir expansion pack, EX Ruby Sapphire, Koki Saito, Blaziken is just cool. Unlimited. I'm not really sure if the expansion pack, like the early Ruby Sapphire stuff, matters in unlimited form. Another one of those Xerneas EXs. Nami. Yeah, this stuff is really mixed up considering I sent it all together. Oh, and this is like the bottom. This is like, you are screwed if you get this PSA 9 on a V-Star Universe card. Literally one of the most modern, the last set of Sword and Shield modern card comes back at 9. I mean, that's like Doomer talk, seeing that come back. Oh my god. Like at this point, these are probably just auctions off and try to recoup the cost of grading into them. One thing that's helped me a lot with getting my account back to top rated is just auctions. I've been trying to auction at least like 20 cards a week just to both move inventory, and a lot of this stuff ends up going for kind of shitty prices, especially CGC stuff auctions terribly, but it's helping me keep my transactions up and then also get those metrics lower and lower so that I have a huge safety net for, healthy transactions on the account. Sorry for the rants. Glaceon, this is the one I really liked. I did not like that Leafeon V-Star Alt Art that much, but the Glaceon to me was just a really, really pretty card. So we got that in a 10. Probably more of this card in 10. And then another Entei 9. Yeah, that really sucks. But, all things considered, the Entei and Raikou are much less, they're not as expensive or worth as much as the Glaceon, so this is the one we prefer to come back in the 10s. But yeah, I'm going to break this return up into two return videos. So that's the end for the first half. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll try to have the other half up pretty quick, get some more content up before I go to Japan. Have a nice one.